Booming Thunder Radio, where we groove as the spirit moves. Yeah. Drawing the honey from the rock with the righteous Reverend Doctor on Booming Thunder Radio.
Hey, welcome back, mighty friends, to the show that will never end. Yea, until mighty Jehovah's appointed time has come upon each and every one of us. Shabbat Shalom this day, mighty friend. This is Brother T.C. coming at you with a word of everlasting glory upon the earth. Our Father, yea, word everlasting upon the hearts and minds of the chosen, that all those be called to come forth and become part of spiritual Israel at mighty Jehovah's perfect time, that your reckoning, that your sifting would be made sure by these words on this Sabbath day. Yea, let this Sabbath day be a sign between you and our Father, that the Son's blood flows in your veins. Yea, the revelation of the mystery of heaven, Yeshua, the anointed Son upon the earth. Yea, the Father come, the Father's mind in a fleshly body of the Son, the first light of everlasting. Yea, that sweet nectar of the fruit first tasted. Yea, that many could come forth, that the basket could be made full. And yea, each and every Sabbath day, let us come and be refilled with the Father, yea, and the blood of the Son upon our hearts and minds, that we, yea, the us, can go forth in this dark world for just 6 days and set another unhewn stone upon another deep in our heart inside. Yea, mighty friends, let us sit by the green pasture, by the still water, and feel the gentle breeze upon our mind. Yea, that mighty Father's Son, the everlasting glory, which is the Word, yea, Yeshua, living and breathing in our hearts and minds. Yea, the Father reaches down with his finger and writes upon our hearts. Yea, the things that Yeshua, the door, the Word everlasting, reveals unto the Father. But today we want to go into a word. The living word today comes from, yea, a later book by Paul the Apostle. It comes as a partial clipping out of first message to the Corinthians. Yea. Let us begin with chapter 11. Let's get our Bibles out. Do you have your word out? Yea. Let's open it up to 1 Corinthians chapter 11. We'll be reading today out of the American Standard Version. We'll begin at the heading of Christian order. Chapter 11. Be imitators of me, just as I am of the anointed Son. Now I praise you because you remember me in everything and hold firmly the traditions just as I delivered them to you. But I want you to understand that the anointed Son is the head of every man, and the man is the head of every woman, and God is the head of every anointed son. Every man who has something on his head while praying or prophesying disgraces his head. But every woman who has her head uncovered while praying and prophesying disgraces her head, for she is one and the same as the woman whose head is shaved. Deuteronomy 21:12, if you want to dig a little deeper like a king on that. Teach your little children of your house on the Sabbath day. Take them on that little journey. That you can find a sweet taste of honey. Hallelujah, Jehovah. And the everlasting glory of the Son, Yahshua, upon the earth. For if a woman does not cover her head, let her also have her hair cut off. But if it is disgraceful for a woman to have her hair cut off, or her head shaved, let her cover her head. For a man ought not to have his head covered, since he is the image and glory of Mariahovah, but the woman is the glory of man. For man does not originate from women, but woman from man. And indeed man was not created for the woman's sake, but woman for the man's sake. Therefore the woman ought to have a symbol of authority on her head, because of the angels. However, in the Lord, neither is woman independent of man, nor is man independent of woman. For as the woman originates from the man, so also the man has his birth through the woman, and all things originate from Mariahovah. Judge for yourselves. Is it proper for a woman to pray to God with her head uncovered? Does not even nature itself teach you that if a man has long hair, it is a dishonor to him? But if a woman has long hair, it is a glory to her, for her hair is given to her for a covering. For if one is inclined to be contentious, we have no other practice, nor have the churches of Mariahovah. But in giving this instruction, I do not praise you because you come together not for the better, but for the worse. For in the first place, when you come together as a church, I hear that divisions exist among you, and in part, I believe it. For there must also be factions among you, so that those who are approved may become evident among you. Therefore, when you meet together, it is not to eat the Lord's Supper. For in your eating, each one takes his own supper first, and one is hungry, and another is drunk. Yea, Jude 12 for the kings and the priests upon the earth. What? What? Do you have houses in which to eat and drink? Or do you despise the church of mighty Yahovah and shame those who have nothing? What shall I say to you? Shall I praise you? In this I will not praise you. Oh, mighty Yahshua supper. For I received from the Lord, mighty Yahshua, that which I also delivered to you, that Yahshua, the anointed Son, in the night in which he was betrayed, took bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it, and he said these words, mighty friend. Listen closely to the depth and the breadth, yea, and the heights of these words. This is my body, which is for you. Do this in remembrance of me. In the same way, he took the cup also after the supper, saying, This cup is the new covenant in my blood. Do this as often as you drink it in remembrance of me. Yea, the new wine, the body of the anointed sons upon the earth. I call out to each and every one of you on this Sabbath day. Yea, the way to come together will be made sure very shortly. Be patient yet a while longer, while the fortress, yea, the stone set upon the glory knowledge foundation of Yahshua, yea, the stone the builders rejected. Yea, we are building upon that stone an everlasting glory of the word upon your heart and mind. Yea, that your cup would be made full with the blood of the new covenant. Yea, that you would drink the new wine. Yea, and in the twinkling of an eye, you would be transfigured into the new wine of the new covenant, and eat the bread of everlasting each and every Sabbath day with us in remembrance of mighty Yahshua, who gave all for the Father, that we would know the mystery, language of Torah in this time. Therefore, whoever eats the bread or drinks the cup of mighty Yahshua in an unholy manner shall be guilty of the body of the blood of Yahshua. Do you hear? If you do these things in an unrighteous way, an unworthy manner, mighty Yahovah is at war with the carnal mind continuously, and there are those religious systems Therefore, dear friends, whoever eats the bread or drinks the cup of Yahshua in an unworthy manner shall be guilty of the body and the blood of mighty Yahshua. Hebrews 10:29 is the second witness on that. But a man must examine himself, and in so doing he is to eat the bread and drink of the cup. For he who eats and drinks judgment to himself, if he does not judge the body rightly. For this reason, many among you are weak and sick, and a number sleep. Do you understand? Leave a comment if you need a help. I'll help you. We are here to help. Yea. But if we judged ourselves rightly, we would not be judged. But when we are judged, we are disciplined by Yahshua, so that we will not be condemned along with the rest of the world. 2 Samuel 7:14 is the faithful witness on that. So then, my brethren, yea, mighty friend, when you come together to eat, wait for one another. If anyone is hungry, let him eat at home, so that you will not come together for judgment. The remaining matters I will arrange, yea, when I come. So when Paul comes, he's going to get everything else arranged. Yahshua talked about the blood of the new covenant and his body, yea, that each of us can walk upon the earth in this moment in time, in this very breath you take now. Yea, an everlasting glory inside heaven. Yea, a gentle breeze upon our heart and mind, a heart of gold flowing through our veins. Yea, not the gold and lustful nature of carnal men, but the gold that flows deep in the veins of righteous men. Yea, that have found heaven deep inside and walk before the hearts and minds of blind men, examining their sword if its edge is straight or if its edge is curved. Yea, if he holds it with his right hand or if he holds it in his left. So let us consider these things, mighty friends, on this Sabbath day. Let us speak to them with our sons and grandsons and the greatest of our grandest of sons this day. Yea, the use of spiritual gifts. Yea, do you have spiritual gifts? Do you have things upon your whole life that you have denied? But now, mighty friends, these things, they happen so often and so powerfully that you cannot deny them anymore. Well, then, you are a chosen son of mighty Jehovah, one who loves and has the blood of Yehoshua in his heart and in his mind. The blood that flows through your veins is his blood. Yea, the Father's mind. Yea, the Son's right hand. Yea, the tabernacle of the mind set firm on the foundation stone. Yea, now, mighty brethren, concerning the spiritual gifts, I do not want you to be ignorant or unaware of these things, because they are very real. Yea. And those that believe, yea, and rock the power of the kingdom of heaven before the eyes of all the blind men upon the earth. They know these words I speak are true. These are not words laced with witchcraft of the world. These are spiritual gifts and their anointing. Yea, may you receive your anointing, the revelation of the word and your spiritual gifts at Mighty Yahovah's perfect time. You know that when you were pagans, and we were all once pagans, were we not? Even our Jewish friends were paganized in Babylonian. Their blindness, yea, is beginning to be removed in this very day. So you know that when you were pagans, you were led astray to the mute idols, however you were led. Your dragons, your little trinkets of lustful darkness. Therefore I make known to you that no one speaking by the Spirit of Mighty Yahovah says, Yahshua is accursed. And no one can say, Yahshua is the anointed Son, except by the Holy Ruach of Mighty Yahovah. Now there are varieties of gifts, but the same Ruach, ye manifest them all, mighty friends. There are varieties of ministries, but there is one King upon the earth, Yehoshua, yea, mighty Yahshua, our Hebrew King of the Spirit inside heaven. Yea, his light in heaven, the new Jerusalem inside our hearts and minds. His light is forever. There is no day nor no night. We stand in radiance and magnificent glory, everlasting inside. Yea, come and take the hand, yea, of your spiritual gift. Have your heart awakened, your heart and ears circumcised with the double-edged parable sword of everlasting glory upon the earth. There are varieties of effects, yea, of these spiritual gifts. But the same mighty Yahovah, who works all things in all persons. But to each one is given the manifestation of the Spirit for the common good. Yea, the common good, do you hear? Not for yourselves, but for your brother. Yea, for all your brothers bound in the darkness of this world. For to one is given the word of wisdom through the Ruach, and to another the word of knowledge according to the same Ruach, to another faith by the same Ruach, and to another gifts of healing by the one Ruach, and to another the effecting of miracles, and to another prophecy, and to another the distinguishing of spirits, to another various kinds of tongues, and to another the interpretation of tongues. But one of the same Spirit works all these things. Do you understand that? But one, and it's the same Spirit that works all these things, distributing to each one individually, just as mighty Yahshua, ye wills from the Father, ye Spirit inside. For even as the body is one, and yet has many members, and all the members of the body, though they are many, are one body, yea, so also is an anointed son. Yea, rightly fit together, each one, his purposeful action coming forth at mighty Yahovah's perfect time, and stitched together a skillful craftsman like no other upon the earth. For by one Spirit we were all baptized into one body, whether Jews or Greeks, whether slaves or free, and we were all made to drink of one Spirit. For the body is not one member, but many. If the foot says, because I am not a hand, I am not part of the body, it is not for this reason any the less a part of the body. And if the ear says, because I am not an eye, I am not part of the body, it is not for this reason any the less a part of the body. If the whole body were an eye, where would the hearing be? If the whole were hearing, where would the sense of smell be? But now, mighty Yahovah has placed the members, each one of them, in the body, just as he desired. If they were all one member, where would the body be? But now there are many members, but one body. For the eye cannot say to the hand, I have no need of you. Or again the head to the feet, I have no need for you. On the contrary, it is much truer that the members of the body, which seem to be weaker, are necessary, and those members of the body which we deem less honorable, on these we bestow more abundant honor, and our less presentable members become much more presentable, whereas our more presentable members have no need of it. But mighty Yahovah has so composed the body, giving more abundant honor to that member which lacked, so that there were no division in the body, but that the members may have the same care for one another. Yea, love in their hearts for each other. And if one member suffers, and all the members suffer with it. If one member is honored, all the members rejoice with it. Now you are the anointed Son's body, and individually members of it. And mighty Yahovah has appointed in the ecclesia first apostles, second prophets, third teachers, then miracles, then gifts of healings, helps, administration, various kinds of tongues, all not the apostles, are they? Are not all prophets, are they? Are not all teachers, are they? All are not workers of miracles, are they? All do not have gifts of healing, do they? All do not speak with tongues, do they? All do not interpret, do they? But earnestly desire the greater gifts. And I show you a still more excellent way. Yea, would you like to take a journey a little bit longer and get you a taste of sweet honey? The excellence of love, that you can draw your parable sword and stand on the rock and burn and blaze a fire upon the earth. And love everlasting upon your heart and mind. Yea, for if I speak with the tongue, yea, the tongues of men and of angels, but do not have love, I have become a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy, yea, and know all mysteries and all knowledge, and if we, each of us, have all faith so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, yea, each of us, we would become nothing. Yea. And if we give all our possessions to feed the poor, and if we surrender our body to be burned, but do not have love, it profits us nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind and is not jealous. Love does not brag and is not arrogant. Does not act unbecomingly. It does not seek its own. Is not provoked. Does not take into account a wrong suffered. Does not rejoice in unrighteousness, but rejoices with the truth. Bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. But if there are gifts of prophecy, they will be done away. If there are tongues, they will cease. If there is knowledge, it will be done away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when the perfect comes, the partial will be done away. When I was a child, I used to speak like a child, think like a child, reason like a child. When I became a man, I did away with childish things. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then we will know fully, just as we also have been fully known, yea, each and every one of us. But now faith, hope, love, abide, these three, yea, now and forever. But the greatest of these is always our love for our brother, yea, and the Word, yea, the everlasting glory. So, mighty friends, the wonders of the Sabbath day, have you found them with your family? Have you read this week's Torah portion? Have you studied it? Yea. Our brother Chaim Richmond from the Temple Institute, I highly recommend you listening in to his revelations of the Torah portion each week. And follow along in the Levitical tradition that our brothers, our Jewish brothers that we seek to minister to first, yea, that they would come forth even with no hair upon their face or upon their head, and prophesy, yea, even with dual locks upon their heart and mind, let the locks be cut off of their hearts and minds, that the Yahshua would flow everlasting and drip as honey from their lips on each and every Sabbath day. Yea, mighty friends, I hope you'll look and listen as the little sons, the grandsons, or the greatest of the grandsons read Torah to your family this day. I look forward to my grandsons next year in school. They'll all be the 2 out of the 3 mighty Yahovah has blessed us with. We'll be beginning to read, and we'll be able to study the Word with our 2 of the 3 grandsons. And the oldest one's already said that he promises to teach the youngest ones the ways of everlasting that I have, yea, the mighty Yahshua in their hearts, yea, that they grow up with our Father, yea, in their hearts and minds from when they were little children, yea, perhaps the first generation since the one that wandered aimlessly in the desert for 40 years. Their clothes and their soles of their feet never wearing out. That the children of that rebellious generation would come forth and save their parents. It's only by the children, the love in the little children's hearts for their parents, can they ever receive the truth. And the locks upon their heads and upon their minds is so rusted shut that we need the same 20-pound sledgehammer that we have in our possession, that one that's going to take out that east wall. Yeah, we'll be coming that way and slinging that sledge up against that wall at mighty Yahovah's perfect time, as all the stone masons stand round about. Yea, many turning away from the way inherited from the Father, the way in some other way robbers and thieves go. But now they know Yahshua and come forth.